here at Fort Hope. See if she has anything useful to say. Something has happened. You reek of smoke, of scorched hair and charred flesh. I found a woman burning in a blighted forest far to the west. I remember she was weeping, smoke from empty eyes as flames consumed her, her flesh blackened and cracking from the heat. Is this Tabitha's arrowhead pendant? Yes, she wore it always, though she was careful to keep it hidden from our father, knowing he wouldn't approve. I found it near the burning woman. She wasn't burning when I found her. What happened? I remember staggering through the woods, faint from fear and grief, knowing she was near, for her sorrow called to me. I remember I stumbled and fell. I think I cried out, for the ground was strewn with dead birds. I looked around me and behind the rotting carcasses of rabbits and deer and other beasts of the wood. And then I saw an Indian child and her mother clinging to each other in death. Beyond them there were more corpses, their flesh blackened, their eyes clouded, their faces twisted in fear. I forced myself to walk on despite my horror, picking my way among the dead, choking on the stench of corruption. Clement Wright said an arrow pinned your cloak to a tree as you fled into the woods. I remember him calling Simon's name as we crept through the forbidden wilds. I turned and saw 3 soldiers coming toward us and knew my father had sent them to bring us back. I hissed at them to be silent lest they reveal us to the Indians. But then Simon asked them why they were carrying Indian weapons, and I realized they didn't come to bring us back. It was Clement's arrow that pinned my cloak to the tree. It was my arrow that wounded him. The others were all dead, so I left him there and went to find my sister. At last I saw a pillar ahead of me. Someone was bound to it, a woman, head lowered forward, her naked body stained with the blood that had spilled across her. I knew at once it was Tabitha. I stood before her, reeling from the ache of despair in my own. I raised her face and saw that her throat had been cut open. I looked around at all the helpless creatures, beasts and men, drawn by the ache of her suffering and then drowned by it. I could feel the darkness spreading out from her, feeding on the hope it swallowed up. I knew it would never stop, that it would only grow more ravenous. I wept for a long time, then I began to gather branches and pile them at the base of the pillar. I said a prayer and lit a fire, feeding the clothing that had been stripped from her into the flames. As the flames rose up and consumed her, my prayers became pleas, as her flesh blackened and cracked from the heat and dark smoke streamed from her eyes. I begged her to find peace. I begged her to let go of her torment before it consumed us all. And then I felt her anguish become anger. The ache of betrayal became the shrieking of scorn and vengeance. The trees withered, and all that her fury touched turned into cinders. The dead things and the living were burned away. Those who had hurt her, those who had abandoned her, those who had loved her, all except me. Well, I have a gift for you on the bright side. Oh, lots of stuff. An arrowhead that your sister wore as a pendant. To remind you of her happiness, to remind you of her of her happiness, yes, most thoughtful. A bloody arrow that wounded Clement Wright. A trophy, of course, to remind you of vanquishing a treacherous foe, of your courage. Yes. His well-intended thought, though you might have rinsed it first. This scrap of cloth, in case you wanted to patch the tear. Yeah, maybe you could make something, patch the tear. I already have, but it was thoughtful of you. And this headdress. He would look impressive. I think he would look ridiculous wearing it, in case there's a chance to return it to the owner or his family. It is rather bulky to carry around. I shall leave it here, and they can come and claim it if they desire. Alright, does that do anything? I'm not so sure. But we've at least unlocked more of that. I mean, do we have outstanding investigations? Okay, these... Okay, cool. Okay, so I might have to do this. Fort Hope stuff, and Forbidden Wild stuff. Let's see. So I'm currently Fort Hope. So I'll just nab this, and I'll make a play at... Oh. I thought there was a robber. Clement Wright attacked Allison and Simon Holt. I knew that at once had gone to the Forbidden Wilds, even though I forbade it. I sent those men to make sure they didn't return, for I feared what they might bring back with them. What did you fear they would bring back? The doom of our colony. Allison found Tabitha in the Forbidden Wilds. When Tabitha vanished, I rode into the wood and searched for her. I found her on her way to their village. It did not take long to get the truth from her. She was tied naked to a post. I stripped away her clothing so that the swell of her belly might be clearly observed. A child sewed by a savage she had burnt herself to willingly. You cut her throat? Yes, so that the shame she brought upon me might be ended. I left her there so that the tribe would know we would sooner kill our women than let them be touched by savages, even our own daughters. Well, that answers some questions. What is... oh, this is just notes. It doesn't... oh, solve everything. I might have to travel out to those again. Let's see if that's solved if I talk to her now. Your father sent Clement Wright to kill you and Simon. But why? Why would my own father do such a thing? He claims he feared you would bring back the doom of the colony. Then perhaps he was right. Perhaps I did. What if this is all my fault? Your father killed Tabitha. I feared you would say that. I think I already knew. I felt her dying, so much pain, so much fear, but she was so desperate to live. She was pregnant. Oh God. But how could that be? She never told me. I suppose that's why she was crying. She didn't think I could understand. And so she ran away, knowing she couldn't stay here. That must have been why Father was so angry. Why he couldn't just bring her home. He must have blamed Mother. He must have told himself about it was her fault and that he had to kill Tabitha. What about Tabitha? I believe her torment is feeding off the fear and anguish of those who remain here. Freeing the wraiths you have met may help to quell her wrath. Is there some way you can convince them to let go of that which keeps them here? You must try. If you choose to go to her without releasing them, I expect you will find it a harder task to reason with her. Okay. So I should go. That's a big hint. She is too angry to approach. You must convince those wraiths to depart. Big hint that we need to get all these things solved, or we're gonna get wrecked, basically. So Fort Hope, and then the Forbidden Wilds. You must not remain here any longer. I wish Philippa had come to me with the truth when she was still time to save Tabitha. I wish I could look up from my desk to see my daughters in the doorway, both of them the good girls they once were, loyal and dutiful to their father, not led by weakness or selfishness into folly or betrayal. I wish there had been no cause to punish them. You cannot change what happened. Let go of your anger and sorrow. You destroyed your family to protect your pride, yet it was for naught. You will be remembered as a cowardly murderer. Let your savage curse you to torment. You cannot change what happened. Let go of your anger. Be at peace. I'm not letting you off. He's been condemned to torment. I like it. You're an asshole, so you're condemned. Oswin Ford, you must not remain here. I wish Roger Emery had picked a different man to torment with his insults and scorn, or they had not stung me so keenly. Anything so that Isabel never had to cause to pick up her father's blade and come for me. See, had you not murdered Roger Emery for a mere insult, she would never have cause to crave vengeance. Let your cowardice curse you to torment. Wishing won't change what is from the past. Release the guilt and resentment that bind you here. You should be tormented. You dirty murderer. And you. You must not remain any longer. I wish I could have seen Oswin Ford die in front of me. I want to watch the blood flow out of him like the blood flowed out of my father. It is futile to wish for things that don't come to pass. Release your anger. By seeking vengeance rather than justice for your father, you secured neither. Let your rashness curse you to torment. I'm cursing everyone. F them all. Okay, so we've got one more. Allison Markley at Fort Hope. Then the Forbidden Wilds. Oop. So, these out there, I guess? So, due south. Oh. Very good. Need my ammo. Yes, this has all turned out to be way more involved than I anticipated. I'll see it. See if it's an ambush. No. Roger Emery. I can sever the bonds that keep you here and set you free. I wish I could wipe away my daughter's tears, that I could see her smiling and carefree like she was before we came here. You doomed yourself by provoking the wrong man for no good reason, costing Isabel her father and ultimately her life. Let your pride curse you. No, I'm saying it was useless to wish. Well, actually, no, I'm cursing everyone. Everybody shall be condemned. Unless it turns out, I hope there's not like a right way to do this. Like you either tell everybody that, oh, you just need to forgive and forget, or you're all tormented. Damn. That was hard. Oh. Oh, that worked. Yeah, it's going to be a way tougher fight than that. I need to be reloading on the musket and the crossbow rather than just going straight. That needs to be my natural response. Yeah. Yeah. This is what I should be up to. Or with the musket. Watching the angles. Where's it coming from? You must not remain, Philippa Market. I wish I could sit beside my daughter's bedside again, humming the lullaby I sang since they were children. I wish I could brush their hair from their faces and watch them sleep, and that when I woke in the morning, they would both still be there. You cannot change what has already come to pass, or release the anguish. By hiding the truth, you cause great suffering. Let your deceitfulness curse you to torment. Everyone has been tormented. Who's left? Oh, investigations. So there's more at Fort Hope. Allison Marquet. I don't see that though. What you're doing is working, but she is still too angry to approach. You must convince the other wraiths to depart. Okay. They're just not here. So if I were like... The other one was Deep Forest, right? So one's just right there at the cabin. And since we're just condemning everyone, it's not too much to think about. You. Barnaby Bird, you must not remain. I wish I had let Anuet lead me away from the fort, that we had fled into the woods, running until we couldn't continue and falling to the ground side by side. I wish I could kneel beside her, brushing her hair from her face, thinking how beautiful she is, how full of life. You cannot change what happens. Like, you treated her like an enemy by pushing her away. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Condemned. Actually, said, yeah, we'll go north from here. So we can condemn some more people. There should just be someone who's like 100% a good guy, that you just condemn him anyways. You must not remain here any longer. I wish I could hurt Barnaby Burden as he hurt me. You cannot change what happened. Let's let go of the hurt and anger. It was unfair to ask him to betray his neighbors and run away with you. Let your selfishness curse you to torment, you dirty savage. Okay, so that's that area. Yeah, let's go here. Get all the spirits from everywhere. Okay, we gotta fight the Spanish. Second one should be charging me. Usually on the left. Two on the right. Oh, is that multiple? Okay. Where's my tomahawk? There it is. Okay, let me buy me a fresh one. Alright. You, get out. Get lost. I wish I'd had the courage to kill Jeffrey Hunt after the first time I saw him hurt Catherine. I wish I could watch him writhing on the ground, grasping at the stone knife in the base of his neck, his eyes wide with disbelief and fear, both of us knowing he would never hurt her again. You failed to protect your sister, and then resorted to murder to assuage your guilt. Let your cowardice curse you to torment! Cursed! You've been cursed to torment. Whoever you are, you shall be cursed to torment. Cursed! You must not remain. I wish I'd never made anyone angry, that no one ever had to hurt me. You cannot change what happened, let go of the guilt. You lack the dignity brought... Your lack of dignity brought misery upon you. Let your weakness curse you to torment! Oh, enemies? Alright. This place is cleared. That's the outlying. So Deep Forest, cleared. Fort Hope, cleared. Coastal Path, never was anything. Fort Henry. Todd's Hill. South Gate. Yeah, let's go as far back as Fort Henry. Let's do it. Oh, that may have been a poor fast travel. So I'll have to go to the fort to activate spirit mode. Yeah, this is daytime, I believe. Yeah. So I'll have to go to Fort Henry first. Yep. Yo, get lost. You must not remain. I wish I could listen to Edmund playing his flute by the cook fire. I wish he hadn't seen me as he came around Dodd's Hill. If only I saw him first, and he hid in the shrubs until he passed. If only I didn't kill him. Your deeds cannot be undone, release regrets. Nope. To hide in a monstrous sin, you committed a worse one. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Everyone's being cursed to torment. You must not remain. I wish I had found my son a moment sooner, that his fingers had still been warm, and I pried the pistol from his hands, that I could have handed over a chastened boy to his mother rather than lying a corpse at her feet. I wish I could find Martha on a hillside in a warm and pleasant morning. I want her to be smiling, and for us to sit side by side, holding each other's hands, and talking about our son, who is not dead. Wishing won't change anything, or your neglect cost your son's life and drove your wife to despair. Let your carelessness curse you to torment. All shall be cursed to torment. That's the thief. I don't care about him. You must not remain. I wish I could be the one to tell Captain Eastgrove of the Spaniards, to have him praise me for my service to the colony. It is futile to wish for it could never be. It was your lack of vigilance that cost you that chance. Let your carelessness curse you to torment. Ah, ha, ha, ha. This way. Nice. Right there. What? Oh! This wasn't loaded. What? That didn't work out at all. Oh well, I can buy more shit. You must not remain, Martha. I wish I could hold my son again. I want to hear him call to me. I want to see him running through the tall grass, laughing, his hair golden in the bright sunlight. By taking your own life, you burden your husband with further remorse. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Okay, that's all for this area. Sentry post is next. Oh, that silly of me. That hit the bell. You must not remain. I wish I could meet that girl in the woods again. Only this time, we just pass her by. If she stares at me, it's curiosity and not because I hurt her. And I wish I could look up from my whittling and see the captain coming through the gate with his arms full of firewood. The harm you did cannot be undone. You callously shattered a girl's innocence and caused her life to be cut short, then doomed a man to terror and death for a blunder he greatly regretted. Let your savagery curse you to torment. Baddies nearby. A lone tower. Northwest. Or north-northwest. Bit of a mess here. Richard Wilkinson. You must not remain. I wish I could look across the yard and see all the men gathered round their fires, joking or arguing or sulking, but alive. If only I had chosen their lives over pride and honor. Choices cannot be unmade. Release your guilt. It was your responsibility to weigh the risks before giving orders. Let your rashness curse you to torment. You're cursed to torment. Isaac, you must not remain. I wish that girl had run away at the sight of us, that she had known the fear dogs such as us. I wish she was safe with her family. You cannot undo the harm you caused. Your cruel and savage deeds shattered many lives. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Okay, so this area looks good. Fort Henry looks good. Fort St. George, several. See if I can get a shot out on this guy. Where is he? Oh well. You. Get out. I wish I could see Emma through the congregation in front of the church. I want our eyes to meet and for us to smile at each other. No shouting or chanting or screams. I even wish I could see her heavy with child, because any infant would be a gift in this place, and joy would be a blessing. Remember Emma's screams, and let your selfishness curse you to torment. You dirty bitch. Now you. Calvin Stevens, you must leave. I wish I could call to my wife and see her waving at me. But this time, the horse doesn't scream or rear up, and Winfried is still beaming when I reach her. This time, even if Emma is there at the fence, there is no blood on her hands. Our hands are all clean. You doomed Emma Clark to undeserved suffering in your eagerness to avenge your wife. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Everyone should be cursed to torment. One over here. The one who was killed horribly, you're also cursed to torment. Emma Clark, you must not remain. I wish I could walk back from the woods besides Tobias, with no cause for guilt or fear. It is his wife, and not his shameful secret. I wish our children could run beside us laughing. Such dreams are rooted in Charity Hammond's misery. Let your selfishness crush you to torment. Emma Clark. And northwest. For some more condemnation. Tobias, you must not remain. I wish I could take it all back. That I could say to Emma is no witch, and that she did nothing wrong. That the guilt is all mine. Anything to have never heard her screams. You subjected your wife to misery and loneliness, and abandoned Emma Clark to sorrow and agony. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. Alright, that covers this area. The outlying settlement, cleared. Fort Henry, cleared. Deep Forest, cleared. Forbidden Wilds, permanent spirit time. So I'll take care of this guy. Then I'll head back. See if she'll provide me any help. I think this guy, he may have been the one escorting the girl. I must report to the Lord Governor. You attacked Allison Markley and Simon Holt. The Lord Governor said they must be killed with the Indian weapons, that it must look like savages killed them. I remember Simon Holt pouring powder into the barrel of his musket, reloading as fast as he could as I raised my bow and released. Then he went stiff and fell sideways, an arrow in his throat. I remember Allison fleeing into the woods when the fighting started. I loosed an arrow that caught her cloak and pinned her to a tree. She yanked herself free and kept running. I thought to run her down, but she was waiting just ahead. The shaft struck my knee and my leg buckled. I wanted to go after her, but I was wounded, an arrow from among the trees. You must not remain. I wish my arrow had pierced Allison's heart. I want to go back to Fort Hope knowing the Lord Governor will be pleased that I did as I was told, and I did well. You were willing to murder innocents to please your villainous master. Let your selfishness curse you to torment. And that concludes an investigation. So now, Fort Hope. And All Souls, everything. Ooh. So I'm gonna have a chat with her, and then head down to the back to the Indian village in the next episode. So catch y'all then.